Hey crew, I've got the key to that 22 Rolls-Royce Ghost. We are going to take it for a drive in a few different conditions, but first let's check out how it looks on the inside and outside. Up front, we of course have our Pantheon grille, our Spirit of Ecstasy perched up top, these LED headlights and daytime running lights, and this one is painted in Tempest Grey. It's a milky color for the gray, along with this coachline in Hot Spur Red. In profile, we've got a set of 20-inch wheels, and they are wrapped in Pirelli winter tires. Stepping back to look at the profile, keep stepping back. This is a long sedan, 17 and a half feet long. That puts it at 1.5 feet longer than a Range Rover, for reference. See that chrome window trim, chrome accenting the LED taillights in the rear. The back is a very clean design with just these two chrome exhaust finishers. I like this gray color, and the new Ghost just looks so special. Let's check out that interior. Opening up the coach doors from the center, can't miss the umbrellas in the door, and looking inside at this Hotspur Red on black leather combination. And this leather, perforated and feels just exquisite to the touch. There's also leather just on every surface in this cabin. We have our Rolls-Royce Bespoke audio system with aluminum grates, 2-position memory seats with massage, and lamb's wool carpets. So thick and plush. I'm about to get them dirty by stepping inside. To close up the door, hit the door button here. And now sitting behind my own seating position at 6 feet tall, I've got ample knee room. Foot pockets are big to slide my feet under. If I want to deploy the picnic tables, hit the button on the left, and then hit the button on the right to send out the screen. You can touch the screen or pull down this console and reveal the Spirit of Ecstasy controller. Seat settings are here. Seat heating and ventilation are there. These metal air vents, let's listen to this, just are the mark of luxury. And you can't miss the Starlight headliner with all these little LEDs to mimic the night sky. To get out, you pull the handle once, and then again for an auto open. And now to close these doors, just press your finger for only a moment on that indent, and it takes care of the rest. Up front, we have heated, ventilated, and massaging seats as well, with our Ghost tread plate and more lamb's wool carpeting. We have black gloss wood trim all across the dashboard. Stepping inside. To close up that door, I pull up on this switch here. And in front of the driver, we have a digital instrument cluster, but it looks analog because it has these metal rims to each gauge. There is a head-up display. Have this Hot Spur accent across the dashboard. 10-inch touchscreen infotainment that's nice and responsive. Has wireless Apple CarPlay. To the right of that is an analog clock, and then the illuminated fascia with more tiny LEDs behind the word Ghost. We have physical inputs for the climate settings, a Spirit of Ecstasy controller as a redundancy to touching the screen. In the console is a wireless smartphone charging pad with a couple USBs, and then looking around the cabin, visibility out the back is good. We've got some thick D-pillars, but fortunately we have standard blind spot monitoring. Just every surface in this car feels top-notch. And one note, this is going to be less talking than my normal POV drive reviews because I want you guys to have the sensory experience of behind the wheel of the Ghost. Let's take it for a drive. All right, I'd say fire it up, but we are already cooking because it's cold outside. Seatbelt is on. Pull down on the stock to put it in drive. And away we go. And as we are making our way out of town, I'll give you a quick rundown on the powertrain. Same one in the Cullinan as in this new Ghost. It is a 6.75 liter twin turbocharged V12. It makes 563 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. Raucous numbers, but you would never be able to tell at these low speeds because it's so easy to modulate through the throttle. Very light, predictable tip-in. The brake pedal as well. Everything is just about smoothness. And so the brakes, while they have that bite, are not grabby. And the vehicle just eases up to speed effortlessly. We'll get to try this magic carpet ride quality, the 4-corner air suspension system, in more challenging environments soon, but here on the pavement, these are not super smooth roads. But bumps and ruts, they feel like someone's just throwing pebbles at your butt. Isn't that a visual? That was the hardest bump I've felt. So it was just a slightly larger pebble. The leather on this wheel feels incredible. It's so velvety in the hands. And the rim of the wheel is very thin and delicate, which is appropriate for the driving experience where you just feel like you just daintily make your way down the road. The Ghost just kind of wafts everywhere it goes. You may have noticed that we've made a transition to a dirt road in a $400,000 sedan. Part of me feels very wrong about this, but that's easily overwhelmed by the other part of me that is enjoying the heck out of it. Ruts, potholes, dips. And what I expect to be snow up ahead. We're going to be awfully grateful for that all-wheel drive system, but right now I'm awfully grateful for this suspension system and the seat comfort. Look at this. we just sort of float over everything that comes at us. There it is, there's that snow on the ground. All-wheel drive and winter tires solves all problems. Thank that rear wheel steering for an incredible pivot. Now, this isn't going to turn into a rally drive video, but I do want to see, as the speeds build, how confident the Ghost feels. And it is a permanent all-wheel drive system. It can split the torque between the front and rear axles, and it does have brake-based torque vectoring. Even at higher speeds, hitting those bumps, it feels great. Steering is actually pretty darn direct. It's light, of course, but you really know what's going on with the front end of the car. Is this a winter beater? Is this the perfect winter beater? Am I going to be struck by lightning for even saying that out loud? One thing I did want to show you is the stability control and traction control system and how they vary in low traction situations like this. So we got relatively fresh powder on the ground, and we're going to make sure that we have DSC off, so that takes off traction and stability control. And then I'm just going to kind of give it too much off the line. And it actually managed to get most of the power down without much sliding. But let's see what happens when we put traction on. Or sorry, just traction off, but stability on. Did a much better job there. And then finally, everything on. No loss of traction at all. It just metered the power out perfectly. I neglected to mention earlier that part of the reason why the Ghost is so good at taking the punishment of bumps is that it has a forward-facing camera that scans the road surface ahead. So it primes the suspension so it becomes not just a passive way of absorbing the road blemishes, but getting it ready for them. Now at highway speeds, we have an opportunity to hear nothing. I mean seriously. Is there a better insulated cabin in a road car? The tire noise is non-existent. The wind noise is the faintest brush of air. It's less than white noise. What you do get audibly are, the occasional hard impacts on the road, really rough bits of road. You hear those just a bit, but that's it. Motoring doesn't get more enjoyable, and scenery doesn't get much better than this. If you want it, you do have adaptive cruise control, where you can set your following distance. There's no lane keep assist system. That would be nice to have, but I don't ever really think I want to take my hands off this wheel. This is bliss. This is just bliss. As I conclude my thoughts on the Rolls-Royce Ghost driving experience, I'll give you a bit of extra information. The starting figure for this car is $325,000. As tested, it is $438,000. That is significantly more expensive than the next two closest competitors, the Bentley Flying Spur W12 and the Mercedes-Maybach S650. Both of those cars make more power. They can both have all-wheel drive systems to give you the confidence when driving in winter climates, like the Ghost. But neither of them come close to the cabin serenity and the smoothness of driving that this Ghost offers. They try, they really do try, and they give you a lot. And if this is just out of the budget, you're not going to be complaining with either of those cars. I would happily take the Bentley Flying Spur W12 in these environments, and it would do just fine. But with the Ghost, it's like this transcended calm and ease that just is so fitting when you take in the environment around you right now. I'm a fan. I hope you guys have enjoyed this POV drive review. If you did, please like, comment, and share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to get notified. And I'll see you next time.